So hello everyone, my name is Dan. I run a game studio called Eldring Games, and we're stationed in Sweden. And yeah, like when I was presented, I'm gonna talk to you today about how I went from the hospital bed to creating my hit game, sort of. So we started back in Sweden back in 2007. That's when I made my first game, and that was way back when I did Flash games and stuff like that. Today we're a five-staff team. We're located in Stockholm with our offices next to the Royal Castle there. We're developing the Clevision Sniper game series. We have over 100 million plays on the older Flash versions and 35 million downloads plus on the mobile versions. With quite a few reviews and a good average score, so we've been doing something pretty good. We're developing two games right now. One is Clevision Online, that I'm going to show you a little bit of footage of later on, and we're estimating that we're going to release it later this summer. So how it all started, where did I start, how did I end up going from the hospital bed and eventually developing this game. I used to play a lot of football, and I dedicated all my resources, all my energy to become a professional football player, and that was what I wanted to do. So, yeah, practice a lot. I have a twin brother. We used to practice a hell of a lot. So, but one day I started having a pretty weird pain in my lower back, and I wasn't quite sure what it was. I remember I was having a test in school, and this pain just became more intense, and I started sweating and stuff. So I finished the test, went back home, and later that night I woke up with a lot of pain, and it was all really sweaty. So I ended up in a hospital bed, and I was basically fighting for my life. And obviously in a lot of pain. I was on morphine 24/7. My dad was with me the whole time, and he lost more weight than I did even during the stay because of worrying and stuff like that. So I was in a bad place, and I couldn't really practice football and do what I wanted. But I had always had this interest for games and animation, and I've been really active in animations forum and stuff previously. And now that I couldn't play football for quite a time, I was able to start thinking about my game idea and how to make it a reality. So during the time that I couldn't play football and do that, I started learning how to make games pretty much by myself. So I learned programming, animation, stuff like that, the software, and that was yeah. I felt like that the games out there back then, they lacked a lot of story and meaning behind the games. So that's why I set out to do this first game, and it was released 2007, like previously mentioned, and it was the first game in the Clevision series. Yeah, so it did real well. It did some I got a sponsorship deal, and I was only 17 years old, and I realized I could actually earn a little bit of money from something that I just truly enjoyed doing. So here's some screenshots from that very first game. Up in the left you get to see the engaging storyline, and it's basically the main character's parents are killed, and he's taken to become this child soldier, and he's trained to become a soldier, he escapes, and then that's all he knows. So he decides to become a hitman after he gets out of there. Next up, the first mobile version, and some screenshots from there. And then we have the Clevision 3, which is the latest one that's currently out there so far. Let's see. Yeah, so just a quick recap of the sort of indie journey here. It's 2007, I got hospitalized, started developing the first game, put all my energy and effort into doing that. And games did very well. I was starting to earn a bit of money, so I kept doing that for a couple of years. I got my office, I got an apartment, and then set out to learn and develop for mobile games. And that was It took some time and effort, and eventually I had to move back home, terminate office space because of the time basically, and everything cost money. So then when ClearVision 3 2016, I moved to Stockholm, got a couple of really talented guys to work with, and stuff like that. So, and this year, as you can see, we're really working hard to get ClearVision Online out, and we're going to show you a little bit of footage of, and also been working a bit with Play Publish, who's a marketing strategist. So the next level, this is where sort of I want to show you a little bit of footage from ClearVision Online, and see if this works. Yeah, there we go. So ClearVision Online, if I would summarize it in one sentence, it would be like a sniper strategy game. It's basically asynchronous multiplayer. We try to, we like to have fun with our games. We try to pack in a lot of humor in there. Let's see. Multiplayer asynchronous gameplay. You get to have your own base, other people have their bases, and when you attack them, they're in their base, and that's the actual missions. You get to recruit the specialist guards to defend your base. You build your own brutal weapons, and there's like endless combinations that you can do with them. And you customize your player character. And you use a mix of strategy and sniping skills to sort of race in the world rankings. So I have a little bit a gameplay video link that I would like to show you. Not sure how I activate it. Just tap it. All right. All right. So this is what we call the man cave. From here you access all the game's features, and at the top here you get to see the weapons desk, and you get to choose between different weapon parts, and you can combine these any way you'd like. So that gives a lot of different combinations that you can pull off. So this is one of my favorites. That one. We call it the bean shooter. So next up, you can go out into your base, and you can upgrade the buildings from being a little tent, and all this makes it harder for the opponent to take you out, basically. That's what it's all about. So we went from a tent to a little bigger tent, and an even bigger tent, and then you get to choose your different locations, and different environments, moving stuff around. Everybody likes that. All right. But I think I'm gonna choose to live on the beach. Well, anyways, it's just, like I said, you can also customize your character in different ways. It's like your avatar picture, so you get to do a lot of stuff with that. Different poses. We have a lot of poses now. Yeah. All right. Let's see, let's actually get into the gameplay down there by attacking. So this is basically, Tinder for sniper. So you swipe left to choose another target. So here's some basic gameplay. This is we're just entering beta right now, so this is still, so we didn't stand a chance, actually. There you go. And we have a little loot box right there, the infamous loot boxes. All right. Well, I was hoping, with this story, to sort of inspire people to, keep struggling, because it's always sort of a struggle to go after games, and it's no easy path at all times. So I would just like to say thank you. It's been a pleasure being here, and I would be happy to answer any questions if you have.
So what do you think is the reason for the success of the original?
Let me give you a microphone so we can get it recorded.
So for the original ClearVision games, what do you think is the reason behind that success?
Well, I think, if you play the games, you'll notice that there's a lot of dark humor in the games, and there's a lot of attention. I mean, we put a lot of time into like small details and stuff like that, and we put a lot of time in our animations. Pretty much, we tell a story, and I think a lot of people they really like following that kind of story and see it unravel and enjoying this sort of game world with dark humor and violence.
Hence the swipe right or swipe left thing.
Yeah. Swipe left. That's what gets people the most, I guess. Everybody loves swiping.
Anyone else, any other questions? I mean, I think I'd like to ask, because obviously in a world where things are so difficult to find, your niche, and it's so competitive in terms of the the experience. How did you think you managed to sort of get people's attention? Is it that humour, or is it something much more? Is there more to it, do you think?
Well, obviously not only humour, but I mean, I think the fact that it's stickman, when you look at it, it's like, when you think about stickman, you think, oh, that's what my 4-year-old daughter can, do. But we give them a hell of a lot of life because we have really talented animator, for example. When we put a lot of time and effort into like really making these simple things look alive, and it's really brutal. You see these, cute, I don't know if you can call them cute, but stickmen being really brutally taken out.
Yeah, and kind of we anthropomorphise those stickmen, and like you say, for me it's a little bit like the kind of webcomic thing. There are certain webcomics where they're not the best art, and yet something about them works.
Yeah.
And you can see how the original artist was doing, well, I could do something really complicated and sophisticated, but if I do something simple and add a hat that's really obvious, and you can actually imbibe character, you don't need the narrative arc to imbibe character, because people fill the vacuum.
Exactly.
Is that fair?
Yeah, and we've been really trying to keep it very simple. I mean, in terms of even gameplay and new stuff, and really, like I listened to your talk earlier, scaling down and removing features and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's really the crux of it. That's why I find it, because I can't remember when you first showed it to me, but I remember you showing it to you a while ago.
Yeah.
And what struck me when I first saw it is actually that kind of opening story bit, because normally I hate that kind of narrative stuff because it just gets in the way.
Yeah.
And yet it was done in a really kind of funny but like stark, quite horrific in some ways, almost way. If it wasn't stickman, it'd be horrifying, and yet it was, and therefore it was okay. You kind of get permission.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been thinking as well.
And I think that's really a lesson. I suppose that I imagine it's worth sort of sharing with people. It's like, you managed to find some way to make that experience stand alone, to stand apart, and to so effectively build off your own kind of personal journey and invest in that game that you produced.
Yes.
Kind of a lot of, I mean, I don't know, was it a cathartic experience for you to focus on the game? Was that something that made a huge difference to you?
Personally, yeah, because I was, it was obviously a very hard time for me, not being able to pursue my football career. So that was my outlet, you could say. That was where I found like my light. So it was, and it's given me so much. It's I breathe, eat, and think games now. So I truly enjoy it, and I hope I get to do it for a long time. But yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
So.